What up? Rope Rock here. Okay, I'm gonna give you a quick just breakdown of the rubric because look at this thing. I mean, it looks like a beast, right? It is kind of a beast, but this is how we're gonna grade it. You got to get used to rubrics, and I know that we're not used to reading them, but if you want to do well on your final project, right? So this rubric goes for the listicle. It goes for the Google slide. If you choose that option, you don't have to do all these. You just choose one of them. The listicle, the Google slide, the screencastify, just writing it as a paper. If you make your Google slide and you do a video with it like I'm doing, that kind of thing. So I'm going to go all the way over to this column right here, what a 4 is, right? Because that's what you need to work for. This is what we're going to get as a 4. Now, if you do anything less, then it drops down here. Like a 1 would be you don't attempt to make a claim, or you introduce a 2 would be you introduce a general claim that's unclear, a claim that's not supported by reasoning. That's going to put you in the 2 range, right? A lot of us might get to the 3 range, right? Because we're pretty good writers and we get up here to a 3, but we don't quite get to a 4. So let's look at the difference there. You introduce a claim that's somewhat clear in a 3, but it's not well supported by reasoning, right? So let's look at a 4. When we're just talking about your claim, it's one sentence that's going to help you get a 4 in this one category, right? So you introduce a logical, evidence-based claim supported by reasoning, right? So I think this because of this, or I believe that this is true because of this. Right there, you have your claim plus reasoning, but it's got to make sense. It's got to be about a strategy that one of these teens did. Okay. So then reasoning. Now I'm just looking at a 4. Okay. Because that's what you want to strive to get as a 4. You support the claim with logical reasons. It's carefully selected. It's relevant. It strengthens your argument. It all has something to do with it, and it makes your argument stronger, right? Your reasons vary. It's not the same reason over and over again, right? And you thoughtfully link that, right? And you make your claim, you build your claim up with that, right? So it's not just you should do this, right? It's I believe this, just because, right? Like your parents do sometimes, right? You're given the reason why here. Okay. Now we're not even to actual evidence yet. So you got to go back and those articles say Boyan Slot's your person, say Greta Thunberg's your person, say Claudette Coven's your person. You go back to those articles, you go back to the evidence you already found because you've already kind of started this process, right? You don't have to reinvent the wheel if you did this stuff before. Now, if you didn't do it, you're doing it for the first time. But if you've already done some of this, you can go to those assignments we've done in this 4-6 weeks, whatever it's been, and you can pull some of those answers and put them in your paper, your Google slide, or your listicle. Okay. So then you accurately and you skillfully, you weave in an actual quote right from the article. It's not your words, right? It's the expert's words. It's whoever wrote the article's words, right? You bring that evidence in, right, for your claim, for your counterclaim, for your rebuttal, right? And you have to have at least, to get a 4, at least three pieces of textual evidence, right? And you got to set it up. You can't just plop it down in there. You got to put parentheses around it, right? I mean, quotations around it, right? If you look here, you might say it's a minimum of 3 is provided, but you don't completely link it, right? And that drops you down. So that's evidence. You guys know this stuff. It's just, are you going to do it, right? Counterclaim. What would be the opposite? Why would someone say that this, that what you're arguing is not true? What would they say? And then you have to refute it. You have to have a rebuttal and say why it's wrong and have some evidence to back that up. Okay. And then organization, right? You have to organize this stuff. You have to use transition words. It should be claim, reasoning, evidence, and then explain and elaborate how your evidence proves that. 3 pieces of evidence, then a counterclaim, then a rebuttal, then a conclusion. Sum it all up. Okay. That's my time. Do your best. That's exactly what you got to do, though, to knock this out. Peace out.